Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Automation Testing Insider. So this is the sixth part of Selenium Framework Development series, guys. And in the previous video we talked about how we have created the action driver class and how we have created different action related methods inside our action driver class, right? Now today we'll focus on how we can implement the page object model in our framework, and by creating the login page and homepage classes, right? And we'll write login page test class as well, and probably we'll write one test case like valid login test to verify the whether setup is working fine or not. So let's have a look at the agenda for today. So we are going to talk about what is page object model, and later on we'll create login page and homepage classes as I have discussed earlier, and we'll talk about like how we create the login page test class, and we'll create one test case to verify the setup. And there is a small update to the action driver class which I have already updated, like the previously we have set up the action driver class, so a couple of places I have updated the code. So I'll show you what are the things which I have updated before we start with the login page and homepage classes. So let's get started. So let's first discuss about what is page object model. So I discussed a lot about this page object model in the previous, I have created multiple videos on this page object model, and I have talked about it also while creating the previous framework, right? So let me explain you again what is page object model. So basically the page object model is a design pattern which is widely used across Selenium automation frameworks, right? So what it does, it simplifies the process of writing and maintaining the test scripts. So how it simplifies? So basically there is a clear separation between the test script which we write, test script for validation, and the code which we use to interact with the web application, correct? So there is a separation between the test script and the code which we write to interact with the web applications. So what is the meaning of this? So in page object model, what happens is web pages, or you can say UI components, are represented in this page object model. Those are represented as Java classes. So let's say we have different pages on a web page, like login page. So this is login page. Let's say this is home page. There will be admin page. So let's say these are the different pages on a web page, on a website. Okay, so what we'll do as part of the page object model, we'll create the separate login page class, separate page classes for all these pages, login page.java. Similarly for home page.java. So we'll create separate Java classes for all the pages which we have in our website, and we'll have different elements on the web page, right? We have different elements on the web page. Those elements will be considered as locators inside the login page class. We'll write all the locators, so those will be the variables in login page in the page class, right? And we perform different actions on the web page, correct, by calling action related methods from the action driver class. So those will be written in this inside those separate Java classes. So those will be the action related methods will write inside this login page. Like let's say click on an element, right? So we'll write all the methods which we are going to perform on the particular page. So let's say take an example for this login page. So what are the different actions which we are going to perform? Like entering the username, entering the password, click on login button, right? So we'll write separate methods in this login page Java class. So this is brief about page object model, guys. So let me know if you still have doubts related to page object model. So you can put your comments, put your doubts in the comment section. Now let me practically show you how we can create login page and home page classes, and how we can create login page test. So this is the project which we have created, Orange HRM, and this is the action driver which we have created in the previous session. Now there are a couple of updates which I talked about, so let me show you those. So here I have, what is the problem? So method to enter text into an input field, so avoid code duplication. So here we have written a couple of times, right? Like driver dot find element by, driver dot find element by, right? By calling these methods like clear and send keys. So instead of that, what we can do, we can simply call once this driver dot find element by find element method, and we can store the value in this element variable, right? And we can call those methods like clear method to clear the text and send keys method to enter the value. This is how you can do improve your code. So here I have given the proper comment as well, and while commenting something, when you fix the code or when you update the code, so give the proper comment and add the date, or add the date as well, right? And with the comment. So this is one update. Another one is this method. So it looks a little lengthy, no need to verify inside the if else condition, right? Method to check if an element is displayed or not. So here I have just simplifies these method is displayed. So just surrounded with the try catch, so we'll wait for element to be visible. This method will call the internal method, and then simply will verify driver dot find element by dot is displayed, whether the element is displayed or not, and we'll return it. In case if not, then we'll simply print the what is the exception and return false. What else? And here I forgot to add the semicolon over here, so that also I fixed. So added a semicolon. So later on I reviewed the class, guys, and then I found these issues. So this is how you can fix in your code as well. And there is one task which I have given in the previous video, like to make it dynamic, right? To pass the variable from, to pass these seconds from config.properties. How we can do that, right? So let me show you how we can achieve that. So what we'll do, first we'll go to the config.properties, and here we'll give one parameter, one explicit weight, right? We'll give one value, we'll store one value, explicit weight. Let's say 20 seconds we are giving here, explicit weight over here, or we have given earlier 30, right? So let's keep it 30. So will we store the value here, key value pair explicit weight is equal to 30 seconds. And what we'll do here, I think we need to update what we'll do, we need the prop variable as well, right? So if you go to the base class, the prop is protected, right? So what we'll do, the similar way we have created the get driver for this driver variable, will create one get prop getter method as well for prop. Okay, so we'll simply write getter method for prop. So simply write public void get prop, and it will return simply prop, which is variable of properties class, right? So we'll change the return type to properties. So simply we can write like this, right? And now what we'll do, to get this value from the config.properties which we defined here, like 30, this is in string, right? So we need to convert that into string. So how we can convert? Parse int integer, parse int method is there, and base class dot get prop, correct? We have method get prop, we need to import this base class from com.orangehrm.base, and here we'll call get property to read the values from the get property from properties file. So what is the value we have? The variable name explicit weight, so simply we'll put it over here, and here change the get property to static. So simply we'll come to here properties, get prop method, and we'll change the return type, the method to make it like static. Why? Because we have just do the load configuration only once, right, which we have already discussed earlier. Like we just load the configuration at before suite, so just we'll make it static, so that the value will be static throughout the script, so we can utilize this value in our in other classes as well. So this is how we can do, and we'll store that in int variable explicit weight, and simply just pass this to change this 30 to explicit weight, and this is how we can make it dynamic. So there is no hard coded here. Get prop to static, which I have already changed, right? We need to save it. Now it is fine. So this is how you can make it you can avoid the hard coding values, and whenever you want you can just change the value from here. You can come to this config.properties and change the value from here. So this is about the action driver class, guys. Now let's create LoginPage class from com.orangehrm.pages as part of the page object model. LoginPage. Now what we'll do in LoginPage class, what are the variables we need? We need couple of private variables. We'll declare them as private for now. Private, we need action driver, right? We are going to work with action driver. So action driver, I'll write like action driver variable here, and we need to import this action driver from package com.orangehrm.action driver. Now what we'll do, we'll define all the locators. Define locators using by class, correct? Using by. So, and I'll declare them as private only. So private by, let's say, user name field. Okay, so we'll try to use different locators. So by dot, let's say, I think we need to import first this by from org.openq.selenium, and here we can write like by dot, so username field, right? So let me open the site. Here we have already opened here, so let's inspect this, the username, right? So here we have class name, username, placeholder, like that. So we can write the XPath, or we can directly use this name as well, because whenever you get ID or name, so that would be the better one. So we'll use here the name. So by dot name we can use in double quotation, just put the what is the name, and another variable private by password field by dot, what we are going to use here, let's use CSS selector, but we need to see where we can use it or not. So for password field, what we have, so inside input, right? So what we can do in CSS selector, we can use input tag and then value. So let's inspect again the value. We can use like type attribute, we can use type is equal to password. So now you can see we can use like this in CSS selector. So simply in double quotation put the CSS selector. So this is another locator we use, CSS selector. Here we use name, here CSS selector, private by, we need login button, right? Login button. So by dot what we are going to use, let's say XPath this time. So how we can locate this login button? So simply what you can do, when you right click, when it is selected, so simply right click and copy as XPath and put Control F, Control V, and here you can see it is located, right? But this looks very lengthy, so simply what we can do, simply remove it, or just have this button tag, and then inside that we'll provide the text, what the text we are looking for. So here what we have, if we expand this, so we have login, sorry, we have this, where it is gone, like login, right? So simply provide the login here, the text, and there is a space, guys, just remember that, right, like this. So when we find it, so it should display here 1 of 1. When you get the unique element, then only you go for that locator. So simply I'll put the locator over here, and then another one by, what we need here, login page is there, error message, which we are also going to add as part of our test case. So let's say if I write something, username, and if I enter anything, and we'll get the error over here, right? Error, invalid credentials. So let's inspect that, and here we got, simply we can do copy paste, copy, and then copy as, copy XPath, Control F, put the XPath over here, and just remove everything, text as invalid credentials, right? So you can copy the value, this text from here, put it over here. You can see 1 of 1. So we can copy this locator as well. So error message by dot XPath, we'll put the locator here like this. So these are the different locators which we have written on login page. Now what we'll do, we'll perform different actions, right? We'll write different action related methods. So method to perform login, so public void login. So what we'll do here, we'll send, when we'll create login method, and we'll pass username, we need to pass username and password, right? Username and string password. So we have action driver class variable already, right? So we can use this, and we can call whatever methods which we have written inside the action driver class. So what we need here, we need to enter the text, enter text, error message, enter text. What it will take, one is by, the by class value, right? So we'll put the username, and one is an string value. What is the value? So let's hard code it for now, later on we'll parameterize it. So admin is the user. Similarly, just copy this and put it for the password. So here this time password field, we'll copy it and put it over here, and admin123 is the password. This is how you can write for the login page, correct? And what else we need to write here, we need to click on login button, right? So we can call the click method from action driver and put what is the login button variable here. correct. So this is how you can do, you can perform the login action here, entering the username, entering the password, and click on login button. Now let's write couple of other methods as well as part of this class. Method to check if error message is displayed. This will be useful when we test the invalid login functionality, right? So public void error message, we can write like error message, or we can simply say like is error message displayed. Correct. And we'll call the method is displayed from action driver, right? And here will, what is the error message? This the error message, right? So simply will pass, which is already given here, and just semicolon, put the semicolon, and this should display the boolean, right? So what we'll do, we'll change it to boolean, and we'll add the return statement here. Like this, you can simply write one method is error message displayed. What else we can write for the page action method as part of this login page? Method to get the text from error message. Correct. So we'll write one method public void get error message text. Like this we can write, and here we'll simply call get text from action driver, right? And simply it will be like error message only. Correct. We can get the error message like this, and simply will return that and store in string. Return type should be string. So this is how we can get the error message value. Another method what we can write is we can verify if error message like correct or not, right? Is displayed correct or not. So public void verify error message, and here we'll pass the what is the expected string, what is expected value of the error message. So we can simply say like expected error, and from action driver simply will call one method which we have already written, compare text, right? And here expected, and this one will get it from this variable, correct? Error message. So this is how you can write different methods, action related methods inside your login page. Now how you are going to initialize the action driver, right? So what we'll do, we'll create the constructor of our login page. So public login page, and we'll pass the WebDriver here. We have to import from org.openkey.selenium, and how to initialize guys your action driver. So simply we'll create the object of action driver class here, correct? And we need to pass the driver you can store in this action driver variable. So this is how you can do. You can initialize the action driver object by constructor of this login page. So in the test class, when we call this when we create the object of this login page, so automatically the constructor will be called and it will initialize the action driver. Correct. So our login page is done. So no need to extend the base class for now, right? I think it's not required. So the login page test class, probably we need to extend the base class, that we have to extend. Now we'll go for the another class implementation, the home page. So let's create another class, home page. Click on finish. So here, so simply I'll copy this, the private action driver object, okay, the variable which we have created. Define locators by using this one, will also be the same. Now we'll write locators for homepage class. Okay, so let me log into the application. So what we are going to write here, guys, after logging in, once we log in, we need to verify any of the tabs. So let's verify this tab, whether this tab is visible or not. Okay, when we write the test script, after if we check the successful login or not, right? So what we'll do, we'll inspect this. We can write the XPath for this. So simply you can do Control F and you can write like, what is the tag? Span tag, // span. We'll search for a span tag and text is equal to admin. Correct. We can do like this. Simply copy this and private okay, what is the field name? Admin tab by dot XPath, right? And simply we'll put the value, the locator value here. Similarly, we'll write private by what we need. Admin tab is done, and what we'll do for now, let's inspect this one as well. The user, for logout we need to write, right? This admin is done for now, and let's write one more for Orange HRM and then for this one as well while logging, so we can test the functionality, like whether we are able to log out or not. Okay, so let me inspect this. We can say like user ID button. So what we can do, we can use the class name here, by dot class name, right? Different locator. So user ID button, class name, like that we can give and put the class name over here like this. Private by logout button by dot, let's use XPath this time for the logout button. So when you click on this admin, like user, when you click on this user, you'll see the logout button. So let's inspect this. So we have simply logout under this anchor tag, right? So text is equal to log out. Simply you can give like this, log out. Why it is not giving? One second guys. So yeah, L capital logout, right? So simply put like this, copy this X path, come back to our script and put like this. Okay, now one more is uh, let's inspect this one as well, orange HRM, right? So we have image, correct? So what we'll do, we can use this class name, and later on we'll write the X path. So let's see, div at that class we can use like this, correct? And then we can go to the image, the next tag. So we come to this first, the class, right? And then we go to the particular image like img, another tag. So we can copy this X path, private by orange HRM logo by dot X path. Correct, you can write like this. Now what we'll do, we'll simply call the constructor here to initialize the, you can give comment like slice the action driver object by passing WebDriver driver instance, correct? And simply we'll copy the same thing here as well for home page. Simply we'll change the constructor name to home page, correct? You can do like this. Now let's write some methods. What are the methods we need to write on home page? So we can say like method to verify if admin tab is visible, correct? Public void is admin tab visible, can write like this. And action driver object dot is displayed, correct? Admin tab, change the return type to boolean, and here we have to change automatically when we select this to boolean type, correct? So we can verify the admin tab like this. Now what we can write, public void boolean orange, verify orange HRM logo, correct? We can do like this, and then action driver variable, and then is displayed orange HRM logo, to verify the logo whether it is displayed or not, correct? what action we can perform again, like click on this logout, right? So what we'll do, method to perform logout operation, correct? So public void, simply we'll write method like logout. So action driver dot click, correct? And what is the user ID button? Here we have variable user ID button, and then action driver dot click that logout button, correct? So like this. So this is how you can perform like a logout operation, correct? So our home page is also ready, guys. So now let me do one thing. We'll create the test class now. So we'll go to the src test java package, and where we have created some dummy classes. So com.orange.hrm.test, and here I'll create one login page test, login page test. Click on finish. Now what we'll do here, we need to initialize those objects, right? The page, login page and home page. So what I'll do, I'll create the private variables of those pages, login page. So login page and private variable of home page. We need to import those classes. So this is how you can do it. And what else we need to do? So we'll write one method, public void setup pages. So what we can do here, to initialize those, to create the object of those pages, right? We are going to use these object or like variable values. So we need to initialize the login page and home page. So how we can do that? By creating the object of login page, correct, and creating the object of home page. We can do like this, and we have to pass the driver over here, correct? So we'll do one thing, it will extends base class so that we can access the driver. So simply we'll write like extends keyword here, and base class, import base class dot com dot orange hrm dot base. And if you remember, we have written the get driver method here, right, to get the getter method. So what we'll do, we'll simply copy this method and we'll put it inside this, because we need to pass the driver to this login page constructor. You can see in the login page we have written the constructor, correct? So we can do like this, and similarly for home page as well. And we'll store those in login page, like login page variable and home page variable, correct? So we can do like this, and semicolon here. And what we'll do, I'll create the object before the every test case. So I'll write like before method, before every test method. So we can write annotation like before method. Simply import the before method from org.testng.annotations package from TestNG. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll write one test class, test method, public void verify login test, or I would say valid login test, correct? So what we'll do here, we need to use the login page object here dot login method, correct? So let me go to the login page. here we have already given, so we'll just pass the parameter over here, the string value, and from test class we'll pass the actual value. Okay, so we have just updated our login page. Now here I'll pass the actual username login. Later on we'll parameterize, guys, don't worry about it. So login page dot login admin, and admin123 is the password. Correct. Now we'll assert whether we are able to log in or not using assert class dot assert equals or assert true. Okay, so what we are going to write here, home page dot is admin tab is visible or not. When we get the successful login, then we'll verify, right, like whether we'll verify whether admin tab is visible or not. We should get the admin tab is visible or not. So if you come to this method, we are calling internally this is displayed method from action driver. So we can call it like this, and we can write message here in case if we are not able to log in. So we can write simple message like admin tab should be visible after full login. Right, double S, it will come double S, right, successful login. Right, like that we can write assert true, and what else, verify valid login test. And after login in, what we'll do, we'll log out the application. So from where we'll log out, home page dot logout function which we have written, right, method which we have written inside home page. And what we'll do, we'll wait a couple of seconds after logout. So we have, if you remember, we have created one static method in our base class, right? So where we have that method, static wait, right? So we can simply call that method at the once we log out. So static wait, and I'll give 2 seconds. So we can call this method directly because we have extended the base class here, correct? So our setup is already done, guys. So let me open the testng.xml, hope it will work. So test resources, testng.xml. What I'll do, I'll create one more class and I'll write, and I'll put it over here like login page test. What is the class name of our test? Login page test, correct? So simply save it and let's run it whether it is working fine or not. So right click and run TestNG suite. So browser is launched, navigated to URL. So this is the first test case, this is the second test case. Now let's see, third test case is not running. What is the problem? Login page orange HRM test dot login page test. We have given the proper login page test, login page test. Oh sorry, we forgot to give the @test over here, right? So we need to insert like this. Either you can run it from here or you can run from testng.xml as well. So let me run it again. The first test case is running. Now the second test case. I think we got some error, so let's try to fix it. For input string 30, number format exception for input string 30. What is the problem here? Action driver explicit wait integer.parse int, right? Duration of seconds. Oh, I think if you go to config.properties, so here we have given the semicolon, so that is the reason it got failed. Hopefully it should run this time around. Now it is launching the browser for the third test case. Now here you can see admin, enter the password, invalid credentials. Oh, probably password we have given wrong. So let me see login page test. Password is correct only, right? Admin 123. Username, password field. Oh, we are making some mistakes, guys. Here, copy paste mistake. So you should always avoid the copy paste. So username, we have user, password you should give when we enter the password here. Hopefully this time it will run. So this is how you can fix the code as well. When you when you come to know like what is the problem, then easily you can fix it. Now it is logging into the application, stay for a couple of seconds and then it closes the browser. So finally our setup is perfectly working fine. So you can see 3 cases and 3 passed, and you can see the results, all the test cases are passed. So this is how you can implement the page object model. Now in the next video we'll talk about we'll write couple of more test cases for login page and home page test classes as well, and yeah, in the next video we'll talk about it, and then probably we'll go ahead with the log4j in coming videos. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.